Hello fellow YouTubers, and yes, it's been a while since I've done a video of any sort, so welcome to another episode of Uneven Asphalt, where unfortunately this is not going to be a very cheerful episode. So, I've been busy with work and life projects, but I happened to find a gap, and I've decided to practice and take part in round 2 of the Toyota Gazoo GT Cup on Gran Turismo 7. Now, I fast forward to lap 8 because something very peculiar happened sometime during this lap. So I'm gonna leave the live stream audio on and we'll see what happens.
At the end of 7.
Yeah, don't pit. Yeah, he's fucked.
Everyone behind it.
Good, go. Just watch your tires.
Shit. My game just froze.
Yep,
No!
that's been happening in EMEA.
No! Oh,
Are you
it's
for
bleeding.
fucking real, dude?
Yeah, that's been happening in EMEA. Game freezes.
Oh, dude.
I have to shut down the game.
Oh my god, dude. That's some bull.
Now, it sucked. I was very angry. I did give it a go in the second slot, and it literally happened on lap 4 instead of lap 8. And from one of my teammates, it's been a widespread issue, as I also found on YouTube. So we're going to ride along a very popular YouTuber, Aries, aka Roy Alexander, his channel, and we're going to watch what happens to him.
Here we go.
Yeah, mate, I would have made that same face too. Trust me. And like I said, I gave second slot a go, and it happened towards the end of lap 4, and I didn't even drive with the third one. Like, it was just being silly at this point. Now, I'm going to pop up another YouTuber who was actually on the same race as me, so I was able to see kind of what points I potentially missed out on. And it's heartbreaking, to say the least. Yeah, this one really hurt. It caused me to get a grape. So we're gonna pop on Andrew Racing, aka PXCam20's YouTube channel, and you can see first place was 317 points for a win. Now, even if I can hold off Cantilever, we had such a big gap to third. I would have been perfectly okay with second place taking out 3 or 4 points. It was just why Gran Turismo? But I usually just remove these streams, but there's a lot of positives on this one. So we're gonna jump to qualifying. As you see, I'm doing my prep lap for basically my last shot. I'm currently in second, only 57 thousandths of a second behind iMeteor for pole, and Cantilever is just closely behind. So we really gotta emphasize on nailing this lap as best as we can. Now turn 1 is a bit tricky. It's a lot of trail braking while bouncing the car's weight transfer. So I brake just after the 50, kind of getting it down to third, getting a nice rotate around the apex, smooth exit, using all the curves variable. And fourth, little bit of brakes just to get settled. Third, it's just hitting your apexes for the most part. I'm kind of using the curves a little bit to gain some grip. As you see right here, I was getting some nice grip that pulls me towards the into the corner. This corner was a bit tricky. If you use too much gas too early, it just sends you to the gravel. Now this curb heading to Degna 1, it really shoots you. You don't clear wide. I went a little bit wide as caution. Probably lost about a tenth there, but not such a big deal. Then Degna 2, using all the curbs there, using all the curbs on exit. And right now we're purple in sector 1. Heading to the hairpin, I kind of missed the apex just a little bit, but not too much. I get a great exit though, that we could carry all the way through to the next section of corners, which we're heading into Spoon. This section I can try to keep tight. without scrubbing speed. And then just as we hit the asphalt access road, it's just again bouncing out like turn 1, getting it rotated, using all the curb that we can. So heading into 130R, not much left. See your sector time. So I'm not purple, but it is a personal best. Clipping as much curb as I can without getting a penalty. Hitting just before the 100-meter board and just careful throttle. I got a nice rotation out of that exit, out of Casio Triangle, heading towards the line. And the time was a 59.103. It was, I was shaking at the lap, I'm not gonna lie. So, just waiting to see where everyone goes. Meteor doesn't get me, he's 159.211, 212. So I'm waiting to see if any of the SV guys, which are usually top split, could get me. Yeah, as far as this slot one goes, I think this was, top
Ooh,
split.
I'm shaking after that quali.
I think the aliens,
Oh, come on.
were kind of
come
just
on.
hanging out waiting for slot 2 and 3. My teammate Apple Pop got into 3rd place, which was a really, really nice lap time. And as we see the checker flags coming, it's just a waiting game for now. So this race was, if you're towards the back, it's probably better to do the one-stop strategy to pick off people at the end. If you were leading and you had a nice buffer, you kind of had a gauge where you might come out. If you were going to be stuck in traffic, it wasn't optimal to pit. You had
What's
to
the
stay
time?
out. So I was basically playing it by ear. At this point,
you would have beaten me, but only just.
But yeah, I decided that it was better to do a no stop, just to kind of cut it off cantilever. And even if he did pit, I would just pit the next lap and I'd either be right behind him or just get out right
Yeah,
ahead of
mine's
him
are 59.1 and it's
and
pole
have
for
slightly
now.
better tires for the finish. So we're still waiting for the S3 guys to finish their lap. It's green down. So Gox Gretty also had the same
Yeah, same here.
freeze, the screen
Yep.
freeze during quali and couldn't even take part in the
I
race.
might be on mute this whole race, just saying, so I can concentrate.
Yeah, and there is quali is over, and we get our first pole in Gran Turismo 7 online ranked race. Now, the start wasn't optimal. The grip is there, I just redlined it a little bit too much, which iMeteor got the jump on me. Pop was just covering, just to make sure that I get through safely. Now, I wasn't going to force it on the outside here, I was just going to let him have the corner and just follow him. And just hope that he makes a mistake and we can retake the lead. Since lap 1, they really emphasized cold tires, I was just taking it easy. Just not making any big mistakes, and also the car understeers as it is, and behind someone's dirty air, it's really bad. So I'm just kind of just taking slightly odd lines just to compensate for the dirty air and the understeer. So heading into Degno 1, remember what I said about that inside corner? Well, he takes it nice, but he gets spat out and he's gone. He died. And we have to lead again. And we got Apple Pop, our teammate, right in second. Now, I broke a little early here for just some practice lobbies, a bit slippery. I don't know if it just caught Apple Pop off guard, but Cantilever gets by. Now, for the majority of the race, in the beginning, I was actually gapping Cantilever, so I was kind of wondering if he was saving his tires, so I started to back off on my pace a little bit to save my tires. So we were basically rubber banding about a second and a half, 1.6 seconds the gap, just to manage it. There were times like right now he would get into the 1.3, but I wasn't really stressing over it. I just wanted to run, clean lines that wouldn't be risky. Although, heading out of the S's, I almost threw it away there, so.
What lap you on? If you pit, you pit.
And yeah, it's just very unfortunate. And I've been the cheerleader for Gran Turismo 7 or the Gran Turismo series in general for so long,
Everyone behind him.
but I'm afraid this cannot be ignored any further. We need to, as I almost threw it away right there. And then, yep, the worst thing that could happen to us happened. We need to address
My
the
game just
elephants
froze.
in the room
Yep, that's been
No.
right
happening in
freaking
EMEA.
now.
No.
Alright, so let's talk. Now, normally, unless I get really punted or really agitated, I usually see the light in things and kind of take the positives more than the negatives. And I do have to say that even though I just couldn't complete a race due to no fault of my own, like, the promise and the potential was there. And it shows that maybe I have clawed a little bit of time back towards like the top aliens within North America, and that's really encouraging for me. But alright, I'm not ignoring the elephants, and I say that plural, in the room anymore. Let's get down to my gripes about Gran Turismo 7 since its release. When it was first released, yeah, there's potential, but there are obviously issues. I'm going to get into the main one that they haven't really fixed either, and that's the online lobbies. Me, personally, Gran Turismo, you're not ready for online lobbies yet. You're not ready for ranked races like nations, manufacturers, the Gazoo Cup with this instability, and these like issues going on with like freezing and stuff. Now, I researched online and there were some fixes for me to like reinstall the game, but like why? Why am I going to spend all that time? Like this was essentially supposed to be a copy and paste in terms of online lobbies from Gran Turismo Sport. Why was it working then and is not working now? Now, one theory is, and this is just in relation to the Toyota Gazoo Cup, is the PS4 and the PS5 servers just aren't interacting well with each other. And Apple Pop, who was in both my races in slot 1 and slot 2, he is on a PS4, but he was able to finish both races. I don't know about Gosh Gretty. I don't know if he has a PS4 or PS5, but I am on a PS5. Um, Devil Dog, I don't remember if he's on a PS4 or PS5. He also had issues. And even my boy Greasy, he decided to do a third slot while I just couldn't be bothered anymore, and he got disconnected in quality and even make it to the race. And he has a PS5, so something's going on, right? Now, my other gripe with the online lobbies are, leagues and just we're handcuffed. It is basic. I feel like it's almost a copy and paste of iRacing's how they do online lobbies, minus us paying every freaking time we have to like make an online lobby. So what I'm getting at is you set up the room, but you can't change anything at all. You can't change weather. You can't change tire wear. You can't change like cars, BOPs, weight, etc. If you want to change all that, you have to close down the room and open another one, which is very time consuming because that means you have to make the lobby all over again. And on top of that, there's no function to save the settings that you had in your lobby to copy and paste it, just in case you need to like edit it. And again, this goes back to you had the infrastructure in place in Gran Turismo Sport. Why is it? Now, this is one of the biggest knocks, and it can't be ignored anymore, right? Because basically how the world is right now, everything's online multiplayer, right? iRacing is online. Assetto Corsa is online. Forza is online. Why is Gran Turismo lagging behind online? Honestly. Like, yeah, GT Sport was fine. It was rough at first, but they got it eventually, and they got it done pretty quickly. But like this is just beyond frustrating. It's like, why am I going to continue to put in the time to practice for these ranked races if I'm going to get disconnected? Like, there's no point. It's just going to lead to DR tanking, me frustrating, and then as a result, poor racecraft. And me accidentally a river dirtying someone that they don't deserve to be a river dirtied. Um, Now, you're probably saying, what about online, the dailies, the daily lobbies, right? I actually did daily race C with some nights, the night before, because I thought the Gazoo Cup was actually on a Saturday and not a Sunday, and the lobby was fine. And I also did daily B a couple days ago. Um, I tried daily C. I just, yeah, that Atapa's combo with the super formula is just not for me. Way above my pay grade. But like, I wasn't really racing. Like, I was so frustrated from what happened. Um, and I was basically expecting for something to happen other than concentrating on the race and getting as high up as I can. And I was honestly so frustrated, I had to step away from Gran Turismo. I've never, ever, in the history of Gran Turismo, I've played all of them, minus the one on PS Vista. I've never walked away from Gran Turismo because I was frustrated. Never. So, let's get into gripe number 2, and that is the physics. So, when the physics first came out for the game, yeah, there were some concerns like snap oversteer on literally everything, including four-wheel drives that really shouldn't. Now, I drive a Focus RS in real life, and that thing was snappy on throttle, and in real life, it just that's not how Focus RS works. Like, yeah, it's soft, so this way, like the body roll can swing the rear out and introduce a little bit of oversteer on exit, but on full throttle, the car actually understeers on exit. But yeah, when you just whacked open the throttle, it just spat you out like trash. Um, but honestly, for the most part, once you got used to it and kind of knew like how the cars needed to behave and be driven, I actually enjoyed it. It was actually a challenge to drive these cars, and to be honest, it really helped me with my smoothness behind the wheel, smoothness getting on the gas on exit, and just managing weight transfer in general. Um, It did need a little bit of fixing though, but I felt like with this recent update, they went way too much the other way. It was everything understeers now. It's terrible. Like this Porsche I'm driving right now for the Spa 1 hour and World Touring Cup, understeers. Viper, understeers. Jomama, understeers. Everything freaking understeers. I do agree that it needed a tweak, but they went too much the other way. I think in reality it should have been like 30% of what they put into this, and honestly, it would have been solid. Like the GT4 cars compared to iRacing, they drove in the last update like a dream. I was able to feel what the car was doing, what the tires were doing, and it didn't feel like I was on ice trays like in iRacing. The GT3 cars now with this figures, they honestly feel like iRacing, just numb, lethargic. I can't feel what the car is doing on exit. I sort of have to guess if there's something to steer. So, which means that I have to drive like within the limits of the car and not, I'm too apprehensive to take it to the next step. Gripe number 3, and this is probably not a big deal, but it's the relays. I noticed on 1 to 4, it is basically 99% chance that you're getting the lowest price possible. 5 to 6, there's better chance of getting something better, like a car, or, a lot of money. I'm not talking about like the 10 or 30,000, we're talking about like 50, 100, 200. Before the update, and even like when they sent that relay, like for like the sorry, like we screwed this up, due to I think it was just the whole economics of the game. Like that relay ticket that they just gave to me, I got a Falcon out of it. And I got like some really, really good cars out of it. I actually got 2 invitation cars out of it before like they like tweaked the relay. So I was actually pretty content with the relay as it was, but now it's just junk. It's just I'm better off just going to a boardwalk game here at the Jersey Shore and try my luck and win a better prize than what they would give out here in Gran Turismo. And that brings me to gripe number 4. I don't know if Sony put their grubby fingers into this or PD just dropped the ball, but how could honestly they be proud of this game enough to be comfortable to release it for sale to the public, especially since this was majority copy and paste from GT Sport. If this is truly a revolution like past Gran Turismo games, like why don't we have, for one, like newer cars? Like we see one me passing Tijni, or trying to pass Tijni, in the R8 Evo, which, cool. We got an evolution of a GT3 car that's more up to date. But where's the Merc? Where's the McLaren? Where's the Ferrari 488? Because the 458, I'm pretty sure, is about 10 years old right now, right? Where's the, although it's ugly as sin, where's the M4 GT3? We're missing a lot of good cars. And that doesn't even stop with like GT3, Super GT. We have like mid 2010s, and they've been through 2 other iterations since. So Gran Turismo's been known for its like car quality, but I felt like with like the cars that were probably used constantly for like ranked races, it's lacking compared to like Assetto Corsa. Assetto Corsa basically has newer cars. They have a freaking Bentley, for crying out loud. iRacing, even though they do, you have to pay for it, like with everything. But don't get me wrong, there are some things that did get right in this game. The graphics, I think, for one, look amazing. I just need a monitor to capture, its full potential of a PS5 and variable refresh rates and HDR, etc. Rain, I think for the most part, they got it right. My probably only critique about that is that if it starts dry and the track gets a little rubbed in theory, in real life, that should be like the part of the track that has no grip, and you should be using the outsides that have grip. But I feel like they don't really have that quite nailed down yet, but it's very, very good. It's very, very rewarding when you get it right. Another thing I did like is that they put some retro schemes in some of the existing cars. So like the Viper, for example, they use the last season that was an IMSA, the classic red with white stripes that they won the manufacturing championship with. That was cool. They added some other liveries to some other cars too, like the Porsche. They had the gold one that they used for Le Mans one year. That's cool too. The dynamic weather, like you're seeing right now, day into night and back to the day, that's cool too. So, it's almost like what one of my club members said. The potential's there. They just need to like get their heads out of their butts and really get this going. Now, I'm pretty sure there's an update tomorrow, May 26th. I'm just hoping that they're working on these lobbies, because I think if I hit the point that I'm kind of just tired of just doing single player stuff and I want to be like running with like, my online teams and stuff and doing fun stuff online, and it's not there. So where do we go from here now, right? In the meantime, well, there's circuit challenges I haven't done yet, so I guess I could do those and redo some of those to try to beat my friends and get on top of my friends list. There's the missions. I haven't done all the new ones yet, so there's that. I could also redo all the license tests since post updates, as I did them pre-update, including S10. I managed to get that one down. All but one I did traction control, and that was the final license on International A with the American Nordschleife. That one I had to use traction control. But maybe with those spaces stalled down, maybe I'll give that a go. So, well, I want to thank you for hearing me rant and talking about my opinions about the current state of Gran Turismo 7. If you thought this video was good, please give it a like and subscribe. But yeah, cross my fingers that better days are coming for Gran Turismo 7. If I had to rank it, sadly, as much as I hate iRacing, I would actually put it above Gran Turismo 7 right now. Assetto Corsa Competizione, I just feel bad because I don't give it that much time, but from the few times I played it, it's just been amazing. I just don't have the time for like everything that's going on in life and juggling like 3 racing platforms into one. I kind of had to pick one, and it was usually Gran Turismo 7, but now I'm having second thoughts about it. So, alright guys, until the next time, I'll catch you later.